All right, so let's go ahead and introduce you to the treadmill. For the first few times, what I would recommend is that you stand here next to him. Okay. Now, if you have a leash that clips on here, this collar is nice just because it's giving him the guidance. When he wants to lunge forward, it's going to give a little pressure. Versus once he's kind of accustomed to the routine, the slip lead is a little bit better because this is much more sensitive in the communication. So it's going to help him figure it out. Where that's going to be pretty much locked in there. Where this will jiggle a little bit as it's moving, so it may not tighten up all the way, but it's enough communication for him to understand. Okay, so we take you don't have to do this all the time. Eventually he'll get used to this, but take a handful of his kibble, and yeah. You can throw it on there. Just a piece here, a piece there, like called chicken feeding. And then once he's up, take the leash. This one will be looped around, but you can just use it as this far as a brace, because naturally he's going to want to pull forward. Okay, so if we leave a little slack in the line, just keep that out of the way. Now this is very easy to operate. It's basically you can manually run the time, or you can do programming, and there's 3 programming settings. The programming is basically easy, medium, hard. I'm not so big on these because I like the dog to get into a lull and not get all excited about it. So unless you're really focused on watching him, it's a preset 30-minute time limit on this. So what I do is I go ahead, when the power's off, and this is just like any treadmill, it's going to have a safety.
Oh, so that's on and off. Right?
Well, this is a safety. The on and off switch is on the side there, so it's
okay.
it's a bolt switch. But if you want, you can use that switch right there. It's the only thing that's on here, so it will do the same. So you start, and it counts to 3. Up, bully. And then it starts, and he'll immediately start pulling forward. So as he starts to pull forward, and you can incentivize him a little bit if he's dragging back like that. Good. But this is where the prong collar helps out a lot, because it helps him understand that he's got to keep at a certain pace. So once he starts going, you can just turn up the speed a little bit, do 2 or 3 increments at a time while you're holding this. Most dogs and bully kind of understands the prong collar, so easy. Okay. If he's constantly pulling on this, meaning he's trying to go too far, then we need to increase the speed a little bit. And most dogs work at about a 1.3 to 1.5 is the range that I typically will put them in. You can put them a little bit higher, a little bit faster, but because in the end what you want to do is you want to watch the dog's gait. So when the front paw moves forward, when the left front paw moves forward, the right back leg moves forward. And that's a proper dog's walking gait. So as long as he gets there, so as soon as I release the pressure, but that's fine. That's fine. So we try that again, and we go, okay, get some more food. Here we go. But now I'm going to put him on the slip lead. Come on. Oh. Yes. Yes. Go. Up. Up. No. Up. Yes. Up. Up. Yes. Good boy.
Do you think, do dogs generally enjoy the exercise?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, because what it's doing is it's feeding a primal side of them. And exercise is one of the key primal fulfillers that dogs don't get nearly of. And that's where a lot of destructive behavior comes from. It's they want to burn off that energy. So we're at 0. We hit start again. It'll count down. Now this time I will correct him. Easy. And a lot of times to prevent that from going forward, that's why I said, like, I point this towards the wall, or my
Maybe
entertainment center.
put this,
Yeah, when the chair goes
chair.
back, we're gonna put it right here, yeah, it'll be right in front of it, and he'll go, oh, okay, I can't walk forward. And then he'll just be content to do this. And then, as you're sitting there, good boy, yeah, that's a good boy. Sometimes I just like to stand here and manage the leash a little bit as if we were on a structured walk. I'll do the same thing. And after a while, he'll know that he can't go any further than this. And dogs are using certain things as a visual. So for him, these flaps can be a visual. That can just be his guideline to know he can't cross that imaginary line.
So Ken, did I hear you say 30 minutes is the...
Ah!
30 minutes would be like the desired time to do...
Yeah, I do it in good 40 minutes, two 20-minute sessions a day would be fine. Once in the morning, once at night, is good enough. Or just when you're around here, as long as you're within eyesight of what he's doing. My only concern is, oh, we're over here or over there, and we're around the corner, we're not paying attention to him, and then he does what he just did. He'll just end up standing there because I gave him enough rope to hang out right there, but he'll be tethered to this. But if I took him off of this, you saw he just after a few minutes he hears something else, he'll just walk right off of it. But I would, 20 minutes, 20 to 30 minutes. It's not going to hurt him. At first, start him in 10-minute increments. So take that 40 minutes and do it 10 minutes a few times a day. So we did 10 minutes earlier. We'll do another 10 minutes here, and then and then tonight I'll have you do the same thing. Just take the collar, walk him up here, and you give him a piece of food or two. Give him a little incentive. We want to associate positive. Food is a positive for him, obviously. So he sees that. He says, wait a minute, if I'm on the treadmill, then I get snacks. Well, that's pretty good. So that's his reward. Now he's working for his snacks when we get off of this. And then you can just hang out there for a minute or two, and he'll be fine. And just do it a couple times a day, and it'll build up a conditioning. And they don't have to be 30 minutes. Eventually 30 minutes straight isn't unheard of. You'll get caught in a book and you won't even realize 30 minutes has passed. And he won't tell you because he's just happy. He's going. We're not overworking him or doing anything crazy like that. He's just, content and happy.
I mean, he starts to sort of zone out.
Yeah. And he's a bigger dog, so turning it up really fast isn't about speed. It's not like us trying to run. We want to burn calories. We want to do all that, but we don't want to do that out the gate. We want to do it just like that. That's why I didn't put up the pitch very high. I kept it the lowest pitch I could because I don't want him walking up an incline and putting all this weight on his back hips. That's that's not good either. So this is a nice, steady. It's got a little bit of an incline. He has to work for it, and then it'll just cycle through the time, the speed, the distance, and the calories. So right now the distance is he's gone absolutely nowhere. There, he's gone 0.1 mile, and he's burned 11.2 calories. It's a slow burn, buddy. It's a slow burn, but he's been on there for 4 minutes. I don't really pay attention to any of this. I only focus on the time. Because the time, and if he's at a nice walking path, that's all that matters. Because it'd be as if we were walking outside. And that's really what you're duplicating. Now, this doesn't replace outside walks. Okay? He still needs to have a little bit of that stimulation. And he needs to get out and see things. But to fulfill that sort of primal, I gotta burn off energy thing, this will help. And this will do wonders for him. He'll sleep better. When he gets off, he'll just, with Peanut being a high drive German Shepherd, put her on for 30 minutes, in the morning or 20 minutes as I'm getting ready in the morning and or having my coffee. And I do that with all the dogs because I have 4 treadmills at the house. So I have a whole kennel room that's just for with the treadmills and the kennels and stuff like that for my boarders and things like that. And all the dogs are treadmill trained. It's not very hard to do it once you learn how to do it. But the key is to be consistent. And that's where most people, they don't adhere to it. So partly I like to take this piece of equipment and encourage people to put it in the place where they watch TV or eat dinner. Because then they don't feel so bad. If it's shoved off in another room or something like that, the dog can still be around where he sees activity and he doesn't feel like he's excluded, but he's burning some energy. And it's always good to, do it safely. I think. Come on.
Come on, Boogie.
Whoa.
Good boy. Good boy.